A foreign billionaire is using Twitter to try to destroy the British Prime Minister. And it's actually working right now. Elon Musk, the world's richest man, is waging digital warfare against UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer. This isn't political commentary. This is a coordinated campaign to bring down a sitting government using social media as a weapon. If you want to see how power really works in 2025, hit subscribe, because what happens next will change everything. Here's how this war started. July 29, 2024, three little girls, BB King, age 6, Elsie Dost Stanholm, age 7, and Alistair Dilva Aguar, age 9, were murdered at a dance class in Southport. The nation grieved. Then came the lies. False information about the killer spread like wildfire. The misinformation claimed he was a Muslim asylum seeker. Completely false. He was a 17-year-old British citizen born in Cardiff. But the damage was done within 48 hours. Riots erupted across England. Manchester, Liverpool, Bristol, Hull. Mobs attacked mosques, set fire to hotels housing asylum seekers, clashed with police. Britain looked like a nation at war with itself. But instead of focusing solely on the actual rioters, Starmer's government made a decision that stunned civil liberties advocates worldwide. They declared war on social media itself. Metropolitan Police Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley delivered a chilling message. "We will come after you. Whether you're committing crimes on the streets or committing crimes from further afield online, we will come after you." The crackdown was merciless. Over 400 people arrested, but here's the shocking part. The majority weren't arrested for violence. They were arrested for posts, shares, comments on social media. Data from just 8 police forces revealed over 30 arrests daily for online speech every single day. And that's just 8 forces. Britain has 43 total. Let me give you specific examples that will make your blood boil. Bernie SPF, a 55-year-old grandmother from Cheshire. Her crime, being the first to share false information about the Southport attacker, not created Shash, her home was raided. She was handcuffed and detained for sharing what she'd seen online. Then there's Peter Lynch, a 61-year-old grandfather from Rotherham. He attended a protest outside a hotel housing asylum seekers. Police footage shows he committed no violence, but he was there and he was angry for that. He was arrested, refused bail, and remanded into custody. A grandfather taken from his living room to a prison cell within 48 hours for attending a protest where he hurt no one. The shock was too much. Peter Lynch took his own life in his prison cell. His family blamed a system that had criminalized dissent, but the government's message was clear. Dissent would not be tolerated. Jamie Mickle, a former Royal Marine, faced 7 years for posting a video calling for community unity. Meanwhile, a convicted pedophile got 18 months for actual child abuse. In modern Britain, calling for calm gets you more prison time than sexually abusing a child. It was at this moment that Elon Musk entered the battlefield, on X with over 200 million followers. He declared, "This is Soviet-level censorship. Britain is now a police state under Star." The British establishment laughed. Big mistake. Musk weaponized his platform. X became a global spotlight, broadcasting every government overreach to hundreds of millions instantly. How do you silence a man who owns the microphone? Officials tried to fight back. They accused Musk of spreading falsehoods. Police even hinted at extradition proceedings against him. Think about that. British law enforcement discussing extraditing the world's richest man for social media posts. The same police force that spent decades failing to investigate organized grooming gangs. And that hypocrisy is where Musk found his most devastating ammunition. Then Musk dropped his nuclear bomb, dragging up the grooming gang scandal, Britain's darkest secret. For 2 decades, organized gangs of predominantly Pakistani men sexually exploited thousands of white working-class girls. Rotherham alone, 400 children abused. Nationwide, estimates over 100,000 victims. The authorities knew. Police knew. Politicians knew they did nothing. Why? Fear of being called racist was more important than protecting children. And where was Keir Starmer during the worst years? He was Director of Public Prosecutions, the man in charge from 2008 to 2013. Under his watch, the Crown Prosecution Service called these traumatized girls unreliable witnesses, too difficult to prosecute, they claimed. Later, when cases were finally reopened, the girls were telling the truth all along. The system had simply chosen not to listen. Musk brought this back with brutal clarity. Starmer was complicit in the worst mass crime in modern British history. He chose politics over children. Suddenly, international media picked up the story. Questions Starmer thought he'd buried came roaring back. But Musk wasn't finished. Sources confirm he's moved from criticism to active political warfare. The goal: topple Starr's government before the next election. The strategy is three-pronged. First, relentless pressure on X highlighting every failure. Second, quiet support for opposition parties like Reform UK. Third, leverage his relationship with Trump to economically isolate Britain. Sound impossible? Musk is Trump's closest advisor. He controls Starlink satellites. His social media reach dwarfs any world leader. When Musk speaks, markets move. When he acts, governments shake. In December, he crossed the ultimate line. Musk publicly suggested King Charles should dissolve Parliament and call new elections. Constitutional experts gasped. This hadn't happened since 1834. Musk was unmoved. Sometimes democracy needs a reset. When governments jail citizens for tweets while protecting grooming gangs, normal politics has failed. The Post exploded. Dissolve Parliament trended worldwide. Reform UK surged in polls. Starmer's approval ratings collapsed. The government panicked. They accused Musk of interference, racism, ulterior motives. Nothing stuck. Every attack Musk countered with evidence, court documents, official data, case files. You can't disprove the truth. This battle has transcended British politics. It's become a global test case. Can sovereign governments control information? When billionaires own the digital town square, world leaders are watching nervously. From Berlin to Brussels to Washington, if Musk can bring down a British PM, who's next? As we move deeper into 2025, the crisis shows no signs of stopping. Every week brings new revelations, new polls showing government support collapsing. Starr appears weaker each day. This is no longer just about Musk versus Starmer. This is about fundamental rights. The right of citizens to speak freely without fear of midnight arrests. Whether governments can still silence critics in an era of decentralized information. Most importantly, whether those in power will ever be held accountable for their most grievous failures, especially when those failures involve the systematic abandonment of vulnerable children. On one side, a prime minister who uses police power to jail people for tweets while overseeing a system that turned a blind eye to child abuse. On the other, the world's most influential private citizen with a direct line to the White House who refuses to be silenced. Who really wins when old power meets new power? On one side stand the state, the police, and the old media. They hold laws, courts, cameras, and a system built over decades. On the other side stands a single rich man with a global loudspeaker and a huge army of followers. He can post in seconds and reach millions with one click. That clash is the story of our time. Every day this fight changes. A video goes up, a post goes viral, a news outlet runs a piece, and the balance shifts. An angry crowd forms online, and lawmakers feel the heat. Officials who once moved slow now race to act. People who used to trust the tape and the paper now look at their phones first. That shift matters. It changes how power looks and how it works. Call it accountability or call it meddling. The results can be the same. If a powerful person is exposed and held to account, many will cheer. If a foreign voice stirs unrest or spreads false claims, the cost can be huge. Both can be true at once. A needed truth and a risky tactic. The tools are new, but the stakes are not. This moment is messy. Facts mixed with rumor, anger mixes with hope, and speed often beats care. That makes it harder to judge what is right. Old checks and balances were slow but steady. New checks come fast but can be flawed. We must learn to do both. Move fast when needed, and keep rules that protect basic rights. You have a role here. Every share, like, and comment is a push. You help shape the story and the pressure on leaders. When people speak up, doors open. When voices shout without care, trust can break. The crowd is powerful, but the crowd can be wrong. That is why good judgment matters more than ever. So tell us, is this justice in action or an attack on democracy? Your view matters. Speak up in the comments and explain why. Use clear facts, not gut takes. Ask for proof. Ask for calm if you want the timeline and full posts as events move. Subscribe and turn on alerts. We will track the posts, the replies, and the moves by officials. You will see both the posts that stir people and the slow work of courts and police. We won't pretend one side is pure.